here on 11 o'clock rock. Man, it's
Thanks
awesome
for
to
having
have
us.
you guys here. Michael, if you will, give us a bit of introduction to your band. Everybody wants to know who these folks are.
Okay, we got Mr. Stephen Hart on the
Steven,
bass.
great job, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
And from Chicago.
Yeah.
Another from Chicago. We got David Hart, no relation,
David.
just coincidental. They got the same last name.
All right.
It's one of those things. We've got Miss Brenda McDougall on background vocals.
Sounds wonderful.
And other things that she does.
Yes.
And,
And you are Sir Michael Charles. Do you have a Sir in front of your name yet?
not yet.
Do they do that in Australia?
No, not
They
that I
should.
know of.
They should.
They should.
You know what? I think you of course, you're from Australia. You've been living in Chicago for quite a
I've
while.
been living in Chicago now for 20 years.
20 years. So, growing up in Australia, was there a really heavy blues scene? I mean, we don't think here in the States, we don't think of Australia and blues in the same.
You know, I just did what I did.
Yeah.
Listening to stuff on the radio as a kid and just, I didn't work hard at being a blues player or that's why my music's kind of, I'm a songwriter, so I write all sorts of music. But my guitar playing obviously is influenced by blues.
Sure.
Growing up as a kid with guys like Eric Clapton on the scene and, the Beatles and even
Sure.
Elvis with Scotty Moore on guitar. I mean, you get those influences and they stay with you for the rest of your life. So all my early day influences were blues players, but not that I was saying to myself, I'm going to be a blues player. It wasn't that way.
It blows my mind when I'm looking at your biography. You've cranked out like 25 records. It just boggles my mind. Does it boggle your mind sometimes? When you just kinda
Sometimes
look
when I
back?
think about it, but I mean, it's when you've been doing it for so long.
That's a lot of content, man.
That's, we're talking going back to 45s to,
Yeah.
LPs to the CDs and CD singles and so forth, and laying down stuff for other people.
Any
So-
8-tracks? You put an 8-track out?
No 8-tracks. Cassettes was about as far as we went back
Just
then.
kind of skip that one.
Just skip that one, yeah, thank God, right?
Nothing wrong with that. Well, tell us about your most recent release. It's called Connected. How is it different from all the other monsters you put out?
That particular CD, I got together with a hip hop artist, and it's blues rock with hip hop on it. So I heard this guy, and I thought, well, let's do something different. So I thought I'd bring out a little single or an EP, and it turned out being a whole album. We just had so much fun recording it. And so it's a mixture of everything, but it was a project album.
Yeah, and I'm sure taking that in just Chicago and playing in all sorts of different places in Chicago, you get some really good, some fans, some people really picking up on, this is a different flavor Michael's throwing out.
I think before it got released, it was kind of, I took Majesty on the road with me, so we did some shows live. He did the JBTV thing with me in Chicago, and so it got publicised a little bit. And people kind of liked it, so I thought, well, let's do this. So I ended up being on the road with him for a couple of years.
Sure.
And I'd, in the middle of nowhere, just call him up and he'd come up, or he'd just, from the back, start doing some rap over the blues stuff. And it just worked, and it worked for as long as it did. And the album, I think when it came out, people were waiting for it.
Sure.
It was like, let's see what the whole album sounds like, because they'd only get a little taste of it live.
Sure.
So
what a blessing to be able to play music, for your livelihood. I think it's such a wonderful thing that you all are able to do that and to make it work, and it's maybe putting some miles on the van too.
Putting some miles on the van.
Where are you headed to?
Vans, I should say.
I know you're playing at Bracken's Blues Club, which is a great place here in Maryville in East Tennessee. Playing there tonight. Should be a great show. Probably starts 9-10, I would imagine.
I believe it's at, I didn't even look it up.
Somewhere around there.
I think it's about 9.
We'll double check.
Around there, yeah.
Just get there.
I mean,
get there and get started.
We just came in from Chicago.
I know,
so
you just drove in.
Haven't even looked at this.
Where are you headed for the rest of your trip?
We're going back to Chicago,
Yep.
and we're actually getting ready we've been rehearsing hard. We've been changing the show around a little bit, getting ready for the new year now. So
Sure.
we're just doing some shows around Chicago. And January it just starts flat out again.
I can only expect that you, by the end of the week, will have another record produced. Is that accurate? I should ask your band. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
It won't be ready by the end of the week, but I'm working on another one.
I figured you probably were. Well, people can go to michaelcharles.us to get all of your records. They're all there, and there's a DVD out.
They're all on
and just kind of put you right there in the action. fantastic to have you guys here. Thanks so much for bringing the
Thank
crew.
you.
And we've got lots more music. So Michael, Charles, you guys don't go away, and you guys don't go away, and we'll be right back.